He continues to follow the death of a 6-year-old girl in East Charlotte.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police arrested 3 people in connection to her death after what investigators believe was months of abuse and neglect.
WBTV's Daryl Green is live on Gwynn Hill Road in East Charlotte. Daryl, we know that Charlotte Fire jumped into the investigation on Christmas Eve.
Siobhan, they had to. We came back out here tonight just to kind of get a feel for an update on this story. Of course, I'm standing in front of this home here on Gwynn Hill Road, this burned out shell of a home where 6-year-old Dominique Moody, her body was found lifeless back on the 16th, 8 days before the fire destroyed this home. Now, we got the chance to get a scope of this neighborhood. Keep in mind, this is a small neighborhood, only 8 houses up and down this street here on Gwynn Hill Road. I talked to 2 neighbors. They did not want to go on camera. Neither wanted to talk to us on camera. One man said he only saw children playing outside every now and then. Another woman we talked to said that the people who lived here, in her words, were not very nice. She said they kept to themselves. Now, keep in mind, Charlotte Fire responded to this home on Christmas Eve. They sent 30 firefighters out here to battle this blaze. It was a pretty intense fire there for a little while, but they were able to get it under control. And then that's when firefighters, again, were able to get it under control. Tonight, though, arson investigators are doing their best to find out what caused this fire and who said it, because CFD did confirm to me today, right before news time, that this was indeed arson.
Welcome to the video, everyone. This is Justin Paul. Just bringing an update here on 6-year-old child death investigation out of Charlotte. The 6-year-old was found unresponsive earlier in December, and 3 adults that were supposed to be caretakers of the 6-year-old child were arrested. And recently around like Christmas Eve, they were saying there was a fire at this home, which they're considering arson. So someone set this home on fire. Not sure if it was because of what happened, like the story that came out that happened to the 6-year-old, or whether it was someone who was coming there to try to burn this home out, get rid of like evidence that could have went against the 3 individuals that's locked up. It's gonna be one or the other. Either someone was just like, they wanted to take out the home, trying to, really stupid no matter which way it goes, but felt a certain type of way because of what happened to the 6-year-old, or is someone who is close to the 3 that are being detained for the death of the 6-year-old, who went to this home and was trying to cover up evidence by burning out the home, because it looks like it's a trailer that's it has a foundation of brick or cement cinder block, so easily torturable. But I'm gonna let the video play here.
Now, first responders, you might remember, were called to the same home here on December 16th. That's when little Dominique was found not breathing. She later died at the hospital. She only weighed 27 pounds, which investigators say points to long-term abuse and malnourishment. Now, the conditions inside this home were horrible, according to police officers. When they first got here, they saw rats crawling around, holes in the walls, and the smell of human waste. Other kids who were living here reportedly told police that the little girl was forced to sleep in a dog crate in the living room and had been duct taped and beaten with a belt as punishment for stealing food. She was also allegedly forced to sit in soiled diapers for days at a time for the better part of 18 months. Again, that's according to the other children who lived here. And now those 3 women who lived in this home are facing charges. 51-year-old Tanya McKnight, the child's legal guardian, is charged with inflicting serious bodily injury and 5 counts of other child abuse charges. 61-year-old Susan Robinson is charged with several counts of child abuse, and Taryn McKnight still in jail facing similar charges.
Now, this is a disgusting, heinous act on a child. Really, really angers me, man. Just knowing how needy children are of their caretakers, their parents, guardians, whoever's responsible for caring for these children. And man, again, man, I hate to be like stereotypical, but man, none of these people look none of them look nice. None of them have a welcoming face. to where you will just walk up to them and feel like they're gonna be nice people. You know, and they all have a look on their face of like disgust, and hopefully it's disgusted themselves, because you keep a child in like a dog cage, you got rats running around, insects, fucking animal and human feces in the fucking house, urine. The kid had broken bones, bruises, malnourished, not even able to get food. This is a 6-year-old. Like, this is fucking disgusting, man. They don't they do not deserve to be free. They don't deserve to be free. Like, they deserve every extent of the law. I hate to be so cruel about it, because I know they have family that love them and stuff like that, but come on. Like, what pleasure did y'all get out of doing this little girl like that? Please tell me. What enjoyment did you get out of doing this little girl like that? And if she was too much for you to handle, then you should have tried to turn her over to either another family member, or you know, possibly found her a home through like adoption. But you didn't have to abuse this child. You didn't have to. For one, I couldn't live in those conditions. So you got to think of what type of human beings you have to be in order to literally live in a rat infested, roach infested home without trying to do something about it. Whether you try to get someone out there to try to help get the infestation under control, clean up your goddamn house, you know, something. Because it all comes to a point to where you start seeing these things and you do preventative measures. You keep doing preventative measures. And none of this clicks to me or makes sense to me. You know, this little girl should have not went through all the abuse and stuff that they're accusing these 3 individuals of putting her through. I'm not sure as far as the biological mother, as far as what her situation was to why she lost the custody of her child. I can only really, you know, imagine. But the Lord knows that child didn't go into the best situation that she could have. I'm not sure who placed her into the home or into the care of these 3. But man, they definitely didn't do this little girl any justice at all. Very, very disgusting. I got a clip here of, you know, when the house fire happened, so I'm gonna run that clip. But man, this is just outright, it's just disgusting behavior, man. And fucking humane.
To this tonight, an East Charlotte home linked to an horrific child abuse case is making headlines again. This after an overnight fire engulfed that house. You can see those flames in this video a viewer sent us. And tonight, WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is following up with new information since we first broke the story for you last night.
This is the destruction that is left after a house fire broke out at this home. But this is also the home where a 6-year-old child lived in horrific conditions.
An East Charlotte home at the center of a horrific child abuse investigation, now further scarred by fire. Cell phone video shows the moments firefighters rushed in Wednesday night. Nearly 30 firefighters, taking about 40 minutes to knock down the flames.
It was intentionally set, I don't know, but I often wonder.
This home was already marked by tragedy. Investigators say this is where officers found a 6-year-old girl unresponsive last week after a 40-minute delay before help was called. Court records say adults tried to bring her back by placing the child in front of a kitchen stove, leaving burns on her body already broken by abuse.
It's just sad. I mean, this time of year, it's Christmas, and it's too much going on in the world.
The home is where investigators say the child was allegedly tied down, duct taped, and denied food for days, forced to watch others eat. A home filled with rodents and animal feces. Now 3 women, Susan Robinson, Her sister, Tanya McKnight, who is the child's legal guardian, and McKnight's daughter, Taryn McKnight, are all behind bars, charged with child abuse in connection to the little girl's death.
They need to go to jail too for a lifetime.
Prosecutors say more charges could come, including murder and murder by torture. No one was injured in this fire, and investigators are still trying to determine whether the fire was another crime or an unrelated chapter in a home already defined by loss.
Yeah, they should definitely go to jail for life. I'm not gonna mince my words as far as that is concerned. I really don't care what anybody else thinks about that. That's just my opinion on it. And then when you just get more and more details, man, 40 minutes, man, the child was unresponsive. And you set the child in front of a fucking stove thinking that's going to bring the child back. The child sustained burns from that, already broken and just malnourished, tied down, duct tape, had to watch others eat. It's fucking despicable, man. And, just the fact that it's 3 females and this was a little girl. That lets not men do egregious things out here to people. We seen plenty of stories of that. But now you're starting to see more and more stories of where it's females doing egregious things to other females. Females doing, being abusive to their children or kids that they have guardianship over. And it's fucking disgusting, man. This is really one of the worst stories I've heard this year, honestly. One of the worst ones. And hopefully we don't have to cover too many more stories like this, man, but I want to shed as much light on this story as I can. And hopefully these 3 never ever see the light of day again, as far as being free from jail. They don't deserve it. They really just don't deserve it. And I'm sorry to be so cold. I'm really not sorry, man. I don't apologize for my stance on this whole thing. Because, again, we have a 6-year-old who is no longer with us, who was treated like a fucking animal. Not even an animal, because people treat their animals better than that, man. Just treated like a prisoner of war. Treated like someone who is, not human. It's a fucking shame. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video, man. This story really just ticks me off, man. It really makes me fucking sick to my fucking stomach, man. Because I wish it was someone who loved this child enough to get this child out of this situation. It's just a shame. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.